Now let's get to this. If you were given $50,000 right now, what would you do with it? I have something to share with you. It's about entrepreneurial skills, and it's about learning the path to wealth creation. Back to that question, I think in Africa, if you pick randomly, let's say 10 young adults and ask them the question I posed in the beginning. If they were given $50,000, what would they do with it? I think out of the 10, most of them will mention those businesses. They will tell you they would use that money to start something. However, if that money is given to them, I tell you within 5 out of the 10 will squander the whole money within the first 5 months. At least the 5 will start something, but I tell you, only one might succeed in starting up a business. There's also this category of people who have very good business ideas. It's in their heads. And they had always come to the conclusion that they lack capital. And for that matter, they cannot implement their business idea. Let me focus on that one person that will succeed if given $50,000. This one person, I think, is following the principle of wealth creation. That one person understands money. Now look around you in the society in which you live. There are successful people there. There are people who you know have wealth. People with wealth all over the world have certain principles that they follow. And these principles, they are like the force of gravity, or the principle of flotation. If you climb up a building and decide to jump, you will definitely land on the ground. If you throw a wood or a very weightless object in water, you don't expect it to sink, it will float. These principles of the wealthy are there for us as entrepreneurs to learn from. If we follow them, just like the principle of gravity, you will land, you will be successful, you will create wealth. And mostly, the basic principle, one of the basic principles of the wealthy is that they are always pretty hungry and angry to break loose from the system. The system you and I live in is structured in a way that ensures that we only survive. It ensures that we live from hand to mouth. It barely provides you what you need just to survive. It doesn't give you the opportunity to dream big. It kills your creativity and it squeezes you to the wall such that you aren't able to create wealth. So principle number 1, you must be hungry and angry enough to break loose from the system. Principle number 2, you should be able to understand money. When you have too much money, the system cannot handle you, so you are able to move out of it. But in order to make money or create wealth, you ought to understand money. What is money? The exchange for goods and services. Yes, it is very important. However, you ought to understand that money is also a spirit. Money has a good spirit and it has a bad spirit. At the secondary school level, we were taught about one characteristic of money, which is its ability to circulate. Another characteristic of money is that it can easily multiply. You get it? Money circulates and it can easily multiply. And if you even understand it better, if you understand the multiplication aspect better, then money can compound. That's Warren Buffett is using the compounding nature of money to create wealth. So this information tells you as an entrepreneur that it's pretty much easier to create wealth because it circulates, it can multiply, it has no boundaries, and that is how, as an entrepreneur, you have to understand money. So if you are a government worker, you pick up your loan and then you have to pay your rent. You must buy food for your family. Fix the car. All this ensures that the money you pick at the end of the month moves out of you. That's the circulation part of the money. And then those who invest money realize that they get something out of it. You buy something at $100 and then you sell it for $120, and with time that amount profit you make increases. That's the multiplication part of money. But if you look at the negative side, the devilish side of money, which is engulfing most young entrepreneurs, when you have money, immediately money comes into your pocket. It engulfs you. It takes control of your mindset. It tells you that you deserve more. It tells you that, come on, use me. It will give you all the reasons for you to spend it. And when you spend it, finish, then you stand there as the entrepreneur that says that I do not have capital to start a business. So first of all, you ought to understand money, the good spirit and the bad spirit. The entrepreneurs uses the good spirit of money, which is its circulating ability, its multiplication ability to create wealth. Now, let's come back to those who starts businesses and don't succeed in them. I think in Africa you see a lot of businesses erupting, but you see them collapsing at the same rate. What could be the reason? The reason could simply be their understanding of the profit and loss aspect of their business. It could be their business model, or it could be their product. But let me tell you what I think most entrepreneurs in Africa do. When they buy a product for a price of $50 and they sell for $60, then they assume that the $10 is their profit. So they start spending it like drunken sailors. However, most successful entrepreneurs, businesses, uses the three-part categorization of revenue, which ensures that their business expands, their business is sustainable, and they create even more wealth. So when you buy a product for $100 and then you sell it for $50, the right thing to do when you buy a product for $100 and you sell it for $150, the right thing to do as an entrepreneur is not to assume that the $50 is your profit. What you ought to do is to consider that as your revenue, right? And then when all your overhead costs and production costs and everything is deducted, what is left as profit, you divide it into three parts. Okay? Part one of that is reinvesting into the business. Part two of that is saving for the business, and part 3 of that money is for you to pay yourself as an entrepreneur. So those businesses that succeed understands this 3-part categorization of their revenue and profit. So do not spend all the money and assume that it's a profit anyway. So there will come a time when the business is in problem and you don't have funds, and that is the beginning of collapsing of that business. So now that you understand money and how to categorize your revenues and profit into 3 parts, where do you start? Every business starts with an idea. How do you find that good idea? Every idea must be to solve a problem. So mostly all you need to do is look at the production line or supply chain of every business and find out where you think your skills and abilities and resources fit best. And then you go in there and place yourself. Remember that money circulates, and the only way to catch it is by setting a trap. And what is that trap? That trap is business, is entrepreneurship. So you find the right place yourself, and then you do something different. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. I had a friend who called me and was frustrated. She had finished university and had been home many years without job. That's the system for you. It will educate you and leave you jobless. And like I said, she was frustrated. And I told her she ought to do something about it. Her feedback was, "What? I've tried all." She had written a lot of job applications and delivered. No response. The system have no jobs for you. I told her, "Are you really ready to work, to do something to change your own life?" Her response was yes. "What exactly would you like to do?" And then she said she wants to venture into entrepreneurship. Since nobody's willing to give her a job, that was the only way out. So I asked her to give me a list of 10 businesses that she thinks she has the skill and the capability to do. So she gave me 10, list of 10. I asked her to further narrow that list down to 3. She did that. That list was further narrowed down to 1. And then the work started. I asked her to go out there, find out the number of people doing such business and how they do it. Yeah. She went out there, did that research, came back and informed me that there were a lot of people doing that business, and she was virtually even discouraged. However, from that research, I found out that all other businesses in that sector were doing almost the same thing. Get in their product and supply to their customers. So I further asked her to do research about how money is made in that business, about the customers, prospective customers, and all that research was made. I asked her to find out the source of her product, and in each of this assignment to her, she was given specific targets, and she provided those information, and out of those information we made a strategy. So she found out that the source of a product, the cost per product, and how much is being sold to customers. And the strategy was simple. Go to these customers, offer them the same price of their product, and help them take out their production cost. So these customers, they go to the supplier and get the products for $15 per product, and that's excluding transportation cost. So the strategy was to help these customers acquire the same product but not transportation cost. So she was to get the product and deliver it to the customer. And then every consumer or customer is always looking out to save money. So they will definitely come on board. And then she also managed to tell these customers to provide upfront payment for her to supply the goods, which they did. And why do you think they agreed to that? Because she was solving the customers' transportation problems. So they gave her upfront money, and she went and supplied these customers. What is the innovation here? Eliminating customers' transportation problems, and at the same time making money. How could she do that? From the research, we found out that just losing 5% profit, giving that 5% back to the customer, could still earn her a $7 profit. So she virtually loses nothing. And this enabled her to win a lot of customers. And when the number of customers increased, she then had enough information, enough business information and model to go to the banks. The banks are there to make money. And immediately the bank sees that, this business is making money, then they are willing to offer her a loan. And that loan was used to expand her business. She implemented a 3-category profit and revenue sharing model. So she had enough money to venture into supplementary businesses. And as we speak, she now has about 3 to 4 warehouses. Now, the lesson in this is that business is not entrepreneurship. It's not about just having the idea in your mind. It's about going out there and working off your butts, doing the research, understanding your business, how the money is made, the customers, your competition. All this is what is critical. When you understand your business and you have invested your own time in your business, doors easily open. And remember that she was able to make money even without investing money. She invested just her efforts. So if you are an entrepreneur and all what you think about is capital, you're doing nothing yourself, I tell you, you're going nowhere. Angel investors, the banks, people who have money will only invest in an entrepreneur when they realize that this entrepreneur have already invested at least 10% of their own resources in their business. You have a business plan, your business is registered, you have invested some small capital, you understand your business, you can speak about your business. This is what attracts capital. If you sit down waiting for somebody to come and give you bulk of your capital, the whole capital, before you start something, then you will never start. So your ability to catch money using entrepreneurship, 30% of you, 30% of what you do is that which gives you capital. The research is very important. If you are a new entrepreneur and you're starting now, I will recommend you to read this book, The Richest Man in Babylon, and I would recommend you start learning about what money is. Understand the principle of the wealthy, understand the devilish and angelic part of money, and be hungry and angry enough and dare to try. This will lead you on the path to wealth. Thank you very much.